Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering the woke disaster. Americans are telling big businesses to stay out of politics. They don't want to hear about your ideas and your agendas. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Coming from the Daily Mail, don't tread on me. Nearly 60% of Americans want big business to stay out of politics, according to a new Gallup poll. The majority of Americans want big business to stay out of politics, according to a new poll conducted by Gallup and Bentley University. Its survey has revealed up to 60% of Americans believe that companies should not take a public stance on social or political issues. So if you want to say that the trans agenda or whatever the next progressive agenda is just human rights, it's not political, that's fine. They're including social agendas in there as well. They just don't want to hear it. Customers have had it with this nonsense. Despite the increasing trend of corporate activism, Americans appear to be growing weary of business injecting politics and social issues into their messaging, particularly when it comes to divisive issues. While some business leaders have openly embraced woke ideologies, this poll suggests this approach may negatively impact public approval of the company. Americans are more inclined to support businesses taking a stance on issues like climate change, 55%, mental health, 52%, free speech, 49%, and healthcare, 48%. Conversely, they are least likely to support the corporate involvement in areas like abortion at 26%, political candidates at 19%, and religion 15%. When it comes to specific issues, only 37% of Americans believe businesses should be getting involved and taking a stance on LGBT issues, 45% on racial issues, and 39% on gun laws. Why Americans say they want businesses discussing climate change, I have no idea. I don't know what the questions are, and I honestly do find that hard to believe. We don't need consumer products companies getting mixed into climate change agendas. Just 34% of people believe businesses should be involved with issues like immigration policy, and a mere 27% on international conflicts. The more that companies are involved in social issues, the more that companies will become responsible for social issues. Do you want companies that you have no ability whatsoever in electing the management of really telling you what your social policies should be? Government is government. Business is business. Business is supposed to serve you. Government is supposed to serve you. At this point, government doesn't really serve you. They kind of do whatever they want to do. Do you need businesses doing that as well? Or do you want them to compete for your dollar by offering you value for whatever it is you want to buy? I don't think you need businesses telling you what your political beliefs are supposed to be or what your take on social issues are supposed to be. Several major U.S. corporations, including Target, Adidas, and Bud Light, face significant backlash to woke advertising campaigns. Both Target and Bud Light are examples of companies that went woke and experienced immediate backlash, which they are still attempting to recover from. Target is down like $25 billion since then, and Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, is down $20 billion. It's not good. It doesn't work for the companies, and it doesn't work for their customers. Bud Light may never recover from the controversy that cost the company a loss of nearly $400 million in U.S. sales. In response to the devastating loss, Anheuser-Busch's CEO said they want to enjoy their beer without a debate in August. He finally figured that much out. Sales of Bud Light beer are down about 30% by volume year over year after the disastrous partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Fans of Bud Light erupted in fury at the ridiculous Dylan Mulvaney promotion. A boycott was declared. Kid Rock used Bud Light cans as target practice, and $5 billion was wiped off the value of Bud Light. Two senior marketing executives, Alyssa Heinerschied and her boss Daniel Blake, were forced to take leaves of absence amid the chaos over the promotion. Also from the Hill, Fewer Americans in new poll support businesses taking a public stance on current events. And here's their take on the numbers. Roughly 2 in 5 American adults in a new poll said they support businesses weighing in on current events. And that number is drastically falling amid a wave of culture war clashes. A lot of the public still don't really understand how serious it is to involve corporations in public policy and social issues. It's a silly idea. It's damaging to our culture. They do not belong there. Businesses exist to serve you, just as governments do. Businesses should not be telling you what to think and believe, and they should not be using corporate resources to try to push an agenda. Those who identified as Democrats were much more likely, at 61%, than Republicans, at 17%, to want businesses to pick a side. The Bentley University Gallup survey found about 36% of independents agree that businesses should take a public position on current events. And as we know, of course, what businesses are pushing out tends to fit with what the Democrat agenda is, so naturally the Democrats are more likely to want to promote that. That's where things are at for right now. But at the same time, people don't realize there are serious consequences to getting these different power centers, other than government, to be ruling over you and telling you what's right from wrong. You don't need your soda company or your beer company or your potato chip company telling you right from wrong. It's bad enough that government is doing it. Just protect our Constitution, government, and leave us alone with the rest of that stuff. But no, we don't need large corporations telling us right from wrong. We don't get our morals and our values from large companies. We get them from our religion, from our family, and from our community. The number of Democrats who said they want businesses to chime in has also dropped dramatically in the past year, down from 75% in 2022 to that new 61% number. So people are starting to wake up. The survey comes as several companies from Disney to Anheuser-Busch have faced backlash and even boycotts from normal people after taking more liberal positions, including supporting abortion and LGBT rights. The poll found that respondents who identified as Black, 61%, or Hispanic, 48%, were more likely than white respondents at 35% to believe businesses should take a public stance. Younger adults were also more likely than older adults to prefer businesses to take positions on current events. More than half the respondents aged 18 to 29 said they supported businesses taking a stance. They don't know. Kids don't know, haven't seen enough because they haven't lived long enough in life, how if you give this kind of power to companies to tell you what's right and what's wrong, it's going to take your rights away. They just assume they have these rights. They have cell phones, they have the internet, and none of that could ever disappear. However, it will disappear. Governments are supposed to be separate from companies. Across the board, respondents were more likely to support businesses taking a position on climate change at 55%, but they were least likely to support businesses taking a position on religion at 15%. Conservative governors across the country, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Texas Governor Greg Abbott, have taken on companies for what they've deemed to be woke ideologies. For example, when the Walt Disney Company publicly took a position against the parental rights in education law, it was before the law was passed, and Disney took a position after the law was passed, saying they were going to work to overturn that law, which became known as the, quote, "Don't Say Gay" bill by detractors. DeSantis restructured the special district that included Disney World in Orlando, which the state of Florida had every right to do. And let's also make it clear that the, quote, "Don't Say Gay" law, that's a parental rights law, affects children from kindergarten to 3rd grade. No, the state of Florida doesn't want children in kindergarten to 3rd grade to be indoctrinated by their teachers. They just want the students to be taught. They passed a law for that, but that's not good enough for Disney. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.